Hello and welcome. Tonight, leaders in the Lake Chad region pledged to fund a multinational joint task force towards sustaining peace in the region. Nigeria and French presidents seek ways of strengthening security ties between both countries. The Nigeria Labour Congress issues a 4-day ultimatum for government to reverse the price of petrol or face an indefinite strike from the workers. And Egypt sentences 51 people to jail for protesting against a decision to cede 2 islands to Saudi Arabia.
On business news tonight, federal government asked to expedite visible actions on policy and anti-graft to aid the fight against corruption.
Alan Sports News, Barcelona pip Real Madrid to Spanish La Liga title after beating Granada 3-0.
Good to have you join us. I'm Sulaiman Aled. We begin tonight from Abuja, where after 3 days of deliberations, members of the Lake Chad Basin Commission have pledged their commitment to the funding of a multinational task force to arrest the security threat posed by insurgents in the region. The members were asked to consolidate the gains already made against the Boko Haram terrorist group in the region since the first summit was held in Paris in 2014. The communique presented by Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyema also recommends that member states should redouble their efforts to ensure the release of the abducted Chibok girls. We bring you the report as the bulletin goes. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari says the challenge confronting the Northeast now is how to restore basic social amenities in the region. Addressing journalists after a meeting with the visiting president of France, Mr. Hollande, at the presidential villa, Abuja, President Buhari explained that the federal government has conducted a comprehensive survey on the infrastructure challenges in the region. He added that government will soon begin to empower the people of the region.
Our main problem now is rehabilitation. Rehabilitation of infrastructure destroyed, educational, health, some bridges blown, and then of course the infrastructure in terms of townships and villages that has been destroyed. That we have made a comprehensive survey, and very soon we started to repair them. And then I talked about IDPs, that's internally displaced persons. I mentioned that more than 60% of them are women and children. And more than 60% of the children are orphan. They don't even know who their parents are or where they come from. This is a pathetic situation, and this is one of the major problems we have to face for some times in this country.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari speaking there at the visit of France President Mr. Hollande. The Nigerian army says it has successfully repelled an attack by Boko Haram terrorists in the early hours of today. The army, in a statement, says troops of 21 Brigade and a team of Armed Forces Special Forces on Operation Crackdown came under attack from the terrorists about 1:45 a.m. inside the Sambisa forest. However, the troops successfully repelled the attack, and they further followed up with mopping off operations of the general area before advancing. They also recovered 2 corpses of the attackers and various ammunition. The statement adds that unfortunately 5 soldiers were wounded in action as a result of mortar fired into the harbor area of the Boko Haram insurgents. In the meantime, the United Nations Security Council says it's alarmed over ties between Boko Haram militants and the Islamic State. In a statement, the 15-member UN Security Council expressed alarm at Boko Haram's linkages with the Islamic State, saying the group has continued to undermine the peace and stability in West and Central Africa. It also voiced its support for President Muhammadu Buhari's crucial initiative to hold a security summit in Abuja on fighting Boko Haram. In the meantime, a senior U.S. official said there were reports of Boko Haram fighters joining Islamic State in Libya. U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Mr. Antony Blinken said there were reports that Boko Haram fighters were going to Libya, where Islamic State has established a large presence, taking advantage of security chaos. Mr. Blinken, who leads a U.S. delegation to the Regional Security Summit in Abuja today, says the United States is working with the Nigerian government to spot and stop attacks by Boko Haram before they occur. He also described as horrific the use of young girls and children as soft targets by the insurgents in their recent spate of terror attacks.
It's particularly heinous and horrific to use children for these purposes. So one of the things that we are working on with our partners, including here in Nigeria, are various tactics for trying to spot and stop these kinds of attacks before they can actually take place, and to protect as best we can those who may be vulnerable. One of the hard realities is that if someone is prepared to give up their life to kill other people, you're not going to stop everyone. And that's just a hard reality we have to confront. But we're constantly looking at ways to help partners better protect themselves and better protect their people.
The Anambra State government has assured its Enugu State counterpart of support in its efforts to ensure that the recent attack on Nibo community does not repeat itself anywhere in the state. The Anambra State Governor, Mr. Willie Obiano, gave the assurance when he led a delegation including traditional rulers to the Enugu State Government House on a condolence visit.
The convoy of the Anambra State Governor arrives at the Enugu State Government House with Governor Ifeanyi Ogwaye waiting to receive his guests. A warm embrace and words of comfort from Governor Willie Obiano to his colleague. For Governor Obiano, the visit is one of solidarity that the people of Anambra State share in the pain of their neighbors.
Once more, to sympathize with the injured and the people that lost people in this unfortunate incident, and pray that God will never allow us to see that again.
Then there are exchanges of pleasantries with the traditional rulers before everyone proceeds to the executive chamber, where more felicitations and introduction of dignitaries take place. In his remarks, the chairman of the State Traditional Rulers Council and the Obi of Onitsha, Igwe Alfred Achebe, calls for caution, saying the attack should not be politicized but must be stopped.
It's a lot of work we have to do together as a people. There's no politics in it. There's no personal political divide. Enugu State. Certain things are beyond politics, and he lives up to it, and we're proud of that.
For the host governor, the visit shows the special bond that exists between Enugu and Anambra states.
Your presence here in person, however, goes to demonstrate the very special bond that exists between the people of Enugu and Anambra State, and the love and empathy they share among themselves. It reminds us that, come green or joy, we have always stood and will continue to stand together, for we are one family.
From the Government House, Governor Obiano heads to the Enugu State University Teaching Hospital with the chairman of the Medical Advisory Committee on hand to conduct the visitors around.
Over 50 suspected criminals have been arrested by the police after a raid of a hideout called Senegalese Layout in Okigwe local government area of Imo State. The raid was carried out by men of the State Police Command led by the Commissioner of Police, Taiwo Lakanu, and some other security agencies. The Police Commissioner explained that the raid followed numerous reports on notoriety and criminal acts being perpetrated In the meantime, the Imo State Deputy Governor, who was also at the scene to see things for himself, gave an assurance that the state government will do all it can to protecting lives and property.
We want to discourage all sorts of criminal activities that are taking place: drugs, child trafficking, name it, prostitution, and armed robbery. We know that here is heavily fortified for that. So, but we want to assure the people, good people living around this area, that the Nigerian police, all the security agencies are on top of their game, and we know they do the best. Imo is safe for everybody.
In part two, after the break, the Nigeria Labour Congress issues an ultimatum over the new price of petrol. Stay with us.